Right, welcome back to Break at the Apex for the Miami GP race review. So we are going to talk about the events that occurred during that Miami GP race, and quite honestly, that was the best race of the season for me so far. But I have to say one
Wow.
thing. I've got to say one thing. It's time to have a cup of tea and talk about this race. I don't know if you get that reference, but um,
I
if
do
if you
actually.
if you if you are a Ferrari pit crew member, you'll understand what that means. But it's fine. Let's just get into that. In fact, let's just start with that conversation, right? Because, let's just get straight into that. I think we should just start off the bat with Ferrari because I know you've got a little something that you want to get off of your chest. And I just want to talk about the comedic goal that Lewis showed in the race. So I don't know. Do you want to start it? Do you want to get it off your chest and just go ham?
No,
I'll
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, I know, man. I just wanted to talk about Lewis's comedy. I mean, I thought honestly that that was absolutely golden. First of all, telling them to have a cup of tea while you're at it, and then asking, uh, s- s- science is science is 1.4 seconds behind. Oh, should I let him pass too? Like, come on, guys, that is absolutely golden. Those are the types of things that I watch F1 for. That absolute cockiness. And you know what I love, guys, and this is the thing. What I love about that, right, is when you look at world champions, you look at drivers that are going to tell the team stuff like that. You
Yeah.
look at your Lewises, you look at your Maxes, and they are going to be straightforward and they're going to be sarcastic and they're going to have a go at you. And I think that's okay. I love that. I mean, the only thing I've got to say is Lewis did at some point throw some shade at the way Max handles GB. And I mean, now, if you look at what's happening,
Ah. Ay, ay,
I'm
ay.
just saying. I'm just saying. No, but in my honest opinion, I believe that that is what a champion should be doing. That's how a champion should be treating the team. And it's not because a champion should be rude to the team. It's because he needs to demand more. And Leclerc needs to learn from what he's doing. My only concern is I don't think Ferrari's the type of team that is going to
Allow that.
allow it or react to it. I think they're
Hmm.
just gonna take it on the chin and just say, okay, cool, Lewis was upset, and then move on. Whereas someone like Red Bull, for example, if Max goes, hey, 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 they jump and they fix it. So I do think that's a bit of a shame because I feel like Ferrari would be a much better team today if they maybe did listen to their drivers. That's just my opinion. But anyways, if you want to get something off your chest, BT, don't hold back. I'll give you the floor.
I mean, you're so excited. I can see the smile on your face. You're just waiting for this thing. Um, Look, in simple terms, let's focus on 2026, guys. It's been a good season. It's been a good season. I can't wait till next year. I don't know what you guys are going to do. First of all, your livery was trash. The suits were trash. Your strategy was trash. The car itself is trash. How can how can all of those four things happen in one race on one weekend? Oh no, actually one race, because surprisingly enough, in the sprint, Hamilton did well, and
He
I
did.
don't know.
He did.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that car. I don't know if you could help me with that. That car seems to do well in a sprint race, in a limited lap race, than the full lap race. Just
I
think about it.
I don't know.
Why does that
Yeah,
happen?
I don't know if it's so much about the car doing well more so in the sprints than in the main race, more than it is rather about the fact that when it comes to the main races, there's just a lot more that's going on. There's a lot more things happening. Um, and to be honest, even in the main race, I've got to back Lewis a little bit in that he he flew as soon as he got those mediums on that car. He was flying.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
do think that I do think that, and I've got to back him here because I do think that holding him behind Leclerc for 3, 4 laps did hurt him because he's in that
Yes,
dirty air and that damages those tires. If they let him through immediately, I reckon he would have blitzed away from Leclerc. That's just my honest opinion. But he didn't. He got in front of Leclerc and then he couldn't go anywhere. And then Leclerc was stuck behind him. Then they swapped again. I can understand Hamilton's frustration here because I think if they had let him go immediately, he would have been able to get away because he was flying on those mediums. And it's the same thing that happened in the sprint race. He was flying when they got those. I think
mediums
it was
on.
the mediums. Yeah. So to me, something clicks with him and that car and the mediums in general. But yeah, I mean, look, to be honest with you, Ferrari's pace is way off at the moment. It is track
Way
specific
off.
in a way. Yeah, I guess it's track specific in a way. I mean, they haven't been that far off in other races compared to this race, right? They were very far off. I mean, I made a joke today with somebody saying, I feel like I'm in the 80s because I was watching Williams fighting with the Ferraris
Yes.
and I felt
Hmm.
like, and it's so funny because I didn't make this joke yesterday. I made this joke during the race. And the strangest thing, I made that joke during the race, and I shit you not, 10 minutes later, Brundle said the exact same thing. I'll show you the WhatsApps. I was talking to Martin.
Yeah.
I'll show you the WhatsApps. And I said to Martin, I was like, hey, bro, I could be a commentator. This is saying exactly what I just said 10 minutes ago, you know. But I also think we've got to give props to Williams, but that's a different conversation. But I mean, for me, um, Ferrari is not looking good, man. Not looking
Nah, it's
good
not looking good.
at
I
all.
mean, and I did like voice this out in earlier episodes that this whole changing of this concept of this car was a mistake from them. You can't expect to learn a new car in one season.
Mm.
For maybe Red Bull can do that, and maybe Mercedes can do that. I don't think Ferrari have I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say the team and the engineers that can do that in one season. Unfortunately, it was a bad
I,
idea.
I think I think it's a difficult one to talk about because we don't know what's going on there, right? But what I do know is Red Bull hit the ceiling of what they had. There was
Mm,
not much more they could do. And I feel like potentially Ferrari were in that position. So I feel like for them, it was just easier to say, okay, let's just change the concept of the car because we can't really do much more on this concept. Um, whether they had stayed, whether the car would be better if they had stayed with that current concept or not, I don't know, because teams like Mercedes have caught up clearly, and McLaren have definitely taken leaps ahead. So teams like Red Bull and Ferrari are now falling back a bit. I mean, Mercedes is looking great.
yeah.
They just they're having a bit of hiccups here and there, but in general, they're actually looking really good. So I think it's a difficult conversation to have, just simply because you don't want to throw too much shade at Ferrari because you don't really know exactly, but at the same time, you have to question these things because you have to ask, like, why would they go backwards? Like you've got to ask these questions. So I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm starting to wonder, like, is Fred really the guy? Because
Ooh.
I I thought he was. I thought he was, but we've got to ask that question: is Fred really the guy? Because it's not like Ferrari are doing any better than what they were doing when Bonotto was there. Let's be honest.
True. Yeah. That I mean that is a viable question though, because
Yeah,
it's not looking like they're going forward. It looks like they're going backwards. And if you actually watch the post race interviews of both drivers, they even look confused. They don't even know what's
yeah,
going on. That's concerning.
exactly right. And we've also got to we've also got to use the beauty of hindsight. Okay, so the beauty of hindsight is that we can now think about things knowing the situation, right? Whereas before we didn't know. Now, the thing that's beautiful about hindsight is we now understand what we should have understood a couple months ago. We were
Yeah.
all, including myself, we were all excited. We were like, yes, Lewis is coming to Ferrari. It's going to be now. let's be honest now. Now I'm questioning, was that even the right thing to do? Because first of all, let's just think about it like this. Ferrari were not far behind, right?
Hmm.
They were in the title fight up until the very last race last year.
Hmm.
Okay. So they weren't far behind. So you got to ask that question. Last year of the regulations, last year of the current regulations, the team goes and employs a new driver, then changes the concept of the entire car, and now the whole team plus the new driver has got to learn everything from scratch in the 1 year that they might actually have the better chance to get somewhere.
Yes,
And maybe I'm wrong about saying that better chance part, but if you consider that they were in the title fight up until the last race, it's not like their car was bad. So now
exactly.
you've got a question. Now you've got a question. Was the move of Hamilton even a good move? Because let's be honest, Carlos was doing a damn good job in that car. He knew the car. He understood the car. Leclerc knew the car. He understood the car. They were both consistent. They were both doing well. They could both drive results. It's not like look. It's not like Hamilton is doing that bad. He's still scoring points. It's not like he's Liam Lawson or Yuki Tsunoda. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, the
Or
you get my
yeah, but or it could be another situation where maybe they knew that they were going to struggle this year, and the main goal is
mm.
next year, and maybe they're not telling us that.
Perhaps they're focusing all on next regulations. They're not focusing at all
Yeah,
on which again, that's also a fair thing to say. So again, it's not the case of just throwing Ferrari under the bus or throwing shade at Ferrari. It's more just a case of questioning, like what is going on? Is Fred the guy? Should they have brought Hamilton in? Should they have changed the concept of the car? Like, what are they doing? What are they working towards? Because
yeah,
the CEO, Elkin, the CEO, has been at more races now than I've ever seen him before.
yes,
Why? What is he doing there? Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he can't be there. I mean, we throw shade at Zach all the time for being there. At least Elkin doesn't try and take the limelight away from everybody like Zach does. But the point is, he is always there. I've never seen him there before. Like, why is he always there? What is going on? Is something going on that he's there? Again, I'm not
mm,
questioning that he's there. If he wants to be there, fine. But he never has been. Why all of a sudden now? What is happening there that we now all of a sudden seeing him everywhere in the paddock? And I feel like something's happening. So I don't know. Valid questions, I believe. Is Fred the
yeah,
right
me
guy?
too.
Is
Yeah,
Lewis? Was it the right move? Valid questions, I believe. Anyways, look, I mean, we can harp on, we can talk about Ferrari forever. I know you can. And
yeah.
I would love so much to talk about Ferrari more to get you as angry as possible because it would be great for clips. But I don't think we should go that far into it. So let's just move on
Tra-
to the next.
trash car, trash uniforms, trash livery, trash
Can we just
performance.
hang on? Can we just sure, BT. Sure. I just heard a lot of trash there. That's
Yeah,
calm down, bro. Just calm down, bro. Like, first of all, hang on. Wait, before you calm down, don't calm down just yet, because I've got to ask you one more question. Can we just talk about that livery for a second? Like, like what? Like, okay.
but Dirk explained it,
I think,
and I was like,
yeah, but I think my 8-year-old could probably do better. Like, I'm
yeah.
putting this out there. I feel like all they did was just throw a bit of blue at the back and be like, bam, there we go.
And
Like,
the and the and the thing is, that's the only time they do liveries, right? For that race only.
no,
They
they'll
don't-
do some. They'll probably no, they'll do something for Monza probably.
Okay. Oh, hopefully the
Um,
Monza one looks great.
yeah, but you see the blue thing, dude. The blue thing is a. It's like because of the HP logo, but like just
Mm.
make the whole car blue. It will look sick, man. Just
You heard, you heard,
just do
you
it.
heard Dirk. Dirk said the old man doesn't want
Yeah,
that.
Dirk's not the boss. It's fine. They can do it. I don't know.
Like
Anyways, it's
like
fine. It
Dirk
is what.
like Dirk like Dirk told us the whole history on Friday. I'm like, dude, I don't wanna hear this. Honestly.
Bro, listen, Dirk. If you're watching this, buddy, I love you, but these 6-minute voice notes need to stop, bro.
Bro, no, they
Seriously.
need to stop. Like they get
I,
awkward.
Man, don't got time for that, bro. I've got three babies, bro. I don't got time for that at all. Man, be forcing me to listen to 6 minute voice notes. I appreciate
Bro.
you. I appreciate you, but my goodness. Just write a book, man. We'll read the book in our own time.
Yeah, rather.
And then like you can put your optimism about Ferrari in the book. You can talk about how great they're gonna be one day again, that they're gonna win 10 championships in a row. You can talk about like you can just write a book, my man, and I'll just read it. But yeah, these 6 minute voice notes. Anyways, Dirk, I do love you. We are just joking. We are just messing with you. Let's move on. And the next thing I want to move on to is Williams because we just did speak about the tussle between the 80s Giants and the 80s Giants, 90s Giants being Williams v
Mm-hmm.
McLaren v Ferrari. But let's just talk about Williams v Ferrari. Not v Ferrari, let's just talk about Williams. Wow. Um, what a step in the right direction this team is making. I mean, I don't think many people doubted James Vowles, but considering he's never been in the position, it was a thought of like, well, can he do it? And not only does he have two drivers that can pull that team forward, clearly they're getting something right there.
Yeah,
What what
I
is
mean,
what is he doing? What is he doing that the others couldn't do before him? You know, like Claire and the other guy that came in after Claire, and like what is he doing that they couldn't do? Like what is he applying there? I just don't understand how one guy can make a difference. It's not like they've gotten re-informed, like they haven't reformed the entire team. They haven't gotten a whole new squad of new management. It was just him and like one or two oaks. So I don't know. I'm very interested to know more. I don't know if you would obviously know this, but I don't know. What do you think is going on there?
it's pure leadership. I mean, if you watch Drive to Survive, he looks like a guy that's eager to get the team in the front row again, and that's the motivation. And I think that he strongly believes in synergy a lot. So
Yeah.
he works towards that and tries to keep the team together, keep the team motivated, focus on a goal. But the question I have for this particular race is that have Williams really took a step, or Ferrari was just, excuse my language, shitty this weekend?
If you consider, it's a good question, but if you consider that both Ferraris still did beat one of the
Hmm.
Williams and the other one, okay, fine, he was fifth. He was obviously up ahead, but if you just consider the fact that even if Ferrari were in their rightful place, being top six or whatever, they would have still been there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like they were still faster than they were still the best of the rest, basically. If you take the four best teams, they were still the best of the rest after the four best teams. The Red Bull, Mercedes, uh, uh, um, McLaren, Ferrari. They were still best of the rest. So I think they would have still been there. So they definitely have made that step forward in that both of their cars are now consistently making Q3s and getting points and so on. So I do think they've made the right step. I also think that Ferrari's stepping or has gone backwards. But I do agree with you. I think Vels definitely believes in synergy, and he's working the people well. I think he's getting the people to
Yeah.
work together, and I think that's something that he said from the. I really love his like philosophical approach. He's very philosophical. He's got a lot of like. It's very mental and sort of like I love that approach to things. And quite honestly, um, I I like the guy, man. I really wish a lot for him, and I believe if this is the way he does things, and if he can really pull Williams forward like this, I believe he'll go down as a one of those big guys that end up at the end of his career as like one of top dog. You know, like the Todds and the Ron Dennises and the
Yeah.
Christian Horners, if you will. Like I reckon
Yeah.
he'll go down as those like legendary team bosses. I hope so. Anyways, I reckon it's possible. Um,
Yeah.
but it also just depends. It also just depends on his opportunities moving forward.
I mean, look, they're on the right path. They have the right drivers. Everything is going well. Clearly, they're
Mm,
optimizing the car the right way. Um,
for
and they're
sure.
getting more sponsors, and they're getting more sponsors. They have more sponsors now than they've had, I could say, in 2 years, 2 years ago. I could say that.
Mm,
So that's working
for
well for
sure.
them. That means um, the sponsors, also the people that are sponsoring the team, are seeing some positives from him actually and the future of the team. So exciting times.
For sure, for sure. I am just playing here. Sorry, guys. I just my camera is going flat, and I'm trying to find the charge.
Trying to plug it.
There we go. It's plugged in. Cool. All right. So I guess that's it for Williams. I've got to give it to Albon. I think Albon is having an absolutely stellar season so
Yep.
far, and I've got to say this: Max backed Albon. He said before that Albon is much better than what F1 has made him out to be in recent years,
Mm-hmm.
considering his whole fallout, not fallout, but considering what happened with Red Bull. Max backed him, thought he was a really good driver, and I'm really starting to see it now. Had Red Bull maybe given him more time, or maybe that Red Bull car is just, as we've noticed, not really good for anybody other than Max. But if,
Mm-hmm.
for example, they gave him a little bit more time or a slightly better car, perhaps he would have been a much better off driver. But the fact is, he did peg back a little bit because of what happened. But he's definitely showing now that he does have the talent. He's worthy of something, and given a good car, he can pull in some really good performances. I'm not saying that he's going to be a 20-time world champion, but I'm definitely saying that there's some potential there for him to put up some really good fights. So if he can just get a good car, I'd be very interested to see what he can produce. Because quite honestly, I mean, we know what Carlos can produce in a solid car. So I still think our future in F1 is super bright at the moment. It's all just about who gets what drive, when, where, and how. So
Yeah.
I think for now, Oscar's got a couple championships to win.
Yeah.
Um, and while we're talking about that, we might as well just move into that conversation. Norris is not taking his opportunities, and Piastri is taking all of his
Yes.
opportunities. That
Yes.
is my very that is my very simple explanation as to why Piastri is better than Norris. It's that
Mm.
it's not that he's more talented than Norris. It's not that he is miles ahead of Norris. It's simply he is taking his opportunities and Norris is not. That's it for me.
And
I still believe
and
Norris is faster than him.
and he's racing Verstappen better than Norris.
Well, let's just make it
Yes.
simpler. Let's just make it simpler. He's not racing Max better than Norris. He's racing Max, like blunt, because Norris is
Yes.
not. Norris is letting Max bully him, like
Yes.
outright, on national television. I mean, it's an embarrassment. Like,
Dude.
dude, like Piastri, he's not scared. He gets his elbows out. He fights Max. He maybe gets pegged back a little bit. He tries again. He gets
Mm.
clever. When
Mm.
he gets clever, something happens cool.
So
Look,
yeah.
the reality is, guys, the reality is he's got a better car than Max, right? He
Yes.
should be passing Max. And Oscar found a way to do it. Max is one of the best defenders in the game because he will
Mm-hmm.
rather die or crash before letting you pass, right? That's the type of driver he is. Okay, so you have to get clever to try and pass him, and Oscar did that. And he did it fairly quickly. He did get held up for some time, but compared to Norris, he did it much quicker.
Yeah.
Norris
Very
still
quickly.
danced. Yeah, Norris still tried to dance around with Max, and he's just getting bullied by Max, bro. Like, and Max knows him like too well. He just need, like, my honest opinion, dude. Just be aggressive, and if you're gonna crash, crash. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who cares, bro? Just like at this point, you're already losing to Piastri, right? So just take your shot. If you're gonna crash, crash. Take your shot, get your elbows out, and just go. I think Max. It's all a mental thing, right? And I think Max knows that Norris isn't going to take his shot, and that's why he can play with Norris. Whereas with Piastri, Piastri's not scared to get his elbows out and push him off the track. So Max knows as well, okay, for me, it's crash or let him go, but I don't want to crash because I also want to get a championship here. So with Piastri, maybe I shouldn't be as hard because you know what I mean. It's all that just that mental thing of knowing I can bully Norris because I know he won't take a shot unless it's wide open. Whereas with Oscar, he'll force it. So I've got to find a way to either give him the space or not give him anything at all. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to point out
Yeah,
that it's yeah, it's Oscar is Max's match, basically.
yes, that was my whole point.
Yeah. So for me, Oscar, I think I know it's early in the season. I still believe, honestly, I still believe Norris is a great talent. I still believe, in fact, I still believe he's somewhat faster than Piastri. I mean, he shows it in qualifying a lot.
But
He shows it in lap pace. I mean, he was catching Oscar at the end of the race. I think Norris is better than Piastri, but he doesn't have the racecraft and the mentality that Piastri has. He's not taking the opportunities that Piastri is taking.
but
Sorry,
the
Karen.
thing is, now is that how long are we going to say this? That he's Norris is doing this, Norris is that. Is it going to take for us to get to Abu Dhabi and the champion is Piastri? Are we still going to say the same thing?
No, no. Well, that's what I'm trying to say now. Is like I think we need to start acknowledging the fact that Piastri is somebody who's going to take his chances. Norris currently isn't. And why I'm saying those other things is just to point out that Lando does not lack the ability. He doesn't lack the talent. He's faster than Oscar. In that race, he was faster than Oscar, lap after lap. He was catching Oscar at the end. The difference between them, though, is that Oscar always takes his opportunities and makes something of it, whereas Lando always scuffs his opportunities. I mean, bro, he was on the front row. He didn't have to try and take Max on the first turn, but he was adamant he was going to, and it didn't work out for him, and he lost 4 places, and he had to play catch up again. You just need to be a little bit more intelligent. Do you know what I mean? He's got the pace, he's got the talent, so all he needs is to take his opportunities and just be a little bit more clever sometimes. And on the other point of that is that Oscar is doing that. He is being more clever. He is taking his chances. It's the first time in 28 years that a McLaren driver has won 3 in a row.
Yes. And wait. And the funny thing is that we thought Norris would be doing that, but it's not him.
Exactly. Exactly. We
It's
thought
not
it would have been
him.
Norris.
So that's the crazy thing. Are we trying to say now that Piastri mentals is more stronger than Norris?
I think so. My, I said this
That
in
is
the
a
last
wild
race.
take. Yeah.
I I said this in the last race, and you know, we talk about this on TikTok. I've got a couple people, including Martin, who's been on this podcast with us, who agrees in that I believe Norris is. I mean, sorry, I believe Oscar is top 3 best drivers this year. My
Mm-hmm.
honest opinion. To me, not this year, just in general. I think the top 3 drivers on the grid, just with pure talent, to me, Max Piastri and Leclerc. I and the thing with Leclerc is, I know maybe this year it doesn't look like it, but he's outperforming Lewis. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing with Leclerc is he's the one driver on the track that somehow Max always gives space for, and you got to ask why. Why does he always give Leclerc space and never anybody else? So I don't know. For me, those 3 are the top 3 drivers that we have on the grid, and I'll stand by that. And as young as Oscar is, I'm going to put him in that mix. I really think he's one of the top 3 best drivers on the grid because he's not just a talented driver. He's not just fast. He knows how to take his opportunities. He knows how to make the best out of a situation. I mean, bro, the moment he got ahead, he flew away like Max did in
He was
2023
gone.
when Max had that car.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do in a car like that. You don't see Norris doing that, right? So
No.
I don't know. And this is not the type of team where you can say, oh, but Oscar's got a better car than Norris. No. First of all, the team were backing Norris at the beginning of the year. It was the Norris era, according to Zach Brown. So if
Yes.
anything, Norris probably had the best car, if you want to, market like that. It's not a situation where Max has got the best car and his teammate doesn't. Their cars are identical, yet Oscar's doing things that Norris is not doing. So Put it that there. I'm just putting it out there. I
And
I'm now ready. I'm now ready to say Oscar for the championship.
yeah, I mean, and Norris, I don't think Norris, I'm not saying he's not thinking about it, but each race that goes by, he's losing time. He's losing points, he's losing time. It doesn't matter if he
100%.
finishes second, he finishes third. He needs to win a couple of races in order for him to catch up or actually lead the
Well,
championship.
he's won against three now, or was it three or four? How many has Piastri won this year? Three or four?
Dude, Piastri has
Four.
six. Piastri already has 6 wins and Norris has
Yeah,
5. That's crazy.
I know, but I don't think all six of them came this year, right? One or two of them
Yes,
came from
yes.
last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So 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 what? We've got Norris won one. How many races have we had this week, this month, this year? Six.
6, yeah.
Norris won one, Max won one. So
Oh,
has
Max won
Piastri won
2.
four? Mm-mm. He only won Japan.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
hang on. Let me just check quickly because I'm very interested now because you telling me that for this year, currently,
Norris has won
are you
Australia
tell
Grand Prix.
so you telling me that Norris has only won one and Piastri's won four?
Yes,
Can't be. Is it three or four? Piastri won in Miami. He won in
in
Saudi.
Saudi.
He won
Mm-hmm,
in Bahrain.
mm-hmm.
And then in Japan it was Max. In China it
Yeah,
was Piastri. So
that's
Piastri
4.
is 4 wins to one. 4 wins to one, which in a way is quite impressive for Lando in some way because he's only like 10 or 20 points behind, which means he's been in the mix still. I guess when I
Yes,
say impressive, when I say impressive, I just mean at least when he's not winning, he's still sticking within a pretty decent. But as you say, he needs to start winning if he wants to beat Piastri,
yes.
which he's not doing. So I mean, I agree. I 100% agree with you. So, but for now, maybe the tides will turn later in the season. But for now, I reckon championship advantage Oscar.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyhow,
That's going to be
cool.
embarrassing.
Let's.
It's
I
going to be
didn't even
embarrassing.
know if. I know. I know. But at the same time, Oscar, he's definitely one of those talents, man. One of those generational talents that come in and just win multiple world champions. So it might be embarrassing, but in 10 years from now, it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't that embarrassing because Oscar is just that guy. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but okay, let's move on. I don't have much else to talk about with regard to any of the other teams. Maybe just to touch on Mercedes. So first of all, again, George Russell just out of nowhere again. Just it's like what is
Yeah,
going? Like the guy is he a magician or what is like? I don't really
I was,
understand what's going
I,
on,
I was, I was about to say that he's probably a magician, and his IQ levels are so like out of this world because it
dude.
took him that it took him that pit stop to actually get third. Just think about it.
Exactly. And the thing is, right? He he did go with a different strategy at the start,
Mm-hmm,
probably for the hopes of a safety car or maybe even the rain. No, yeah, I would say the hope was for the rain. So he
mm-hmm,
thought going long would mean that he'd have one less pit stop than everybody else. So he was
mm-hmm.
already thinking about that.
Yeah, yes,
But it still worked out for him, even though there was no rain, because the safety car gave him that pit, right? And I still think, yes, you roll the dice in certain ways, but I still remain with the fact that people can always say you get lucky in Formula One, but I believe you make your own luck in Formula One. I genuinely do believe that. So, I mean, if you don't take the gamble, it will never work, right? He
mm-hmm,
took the gamble. So. To be honest, I don't want to like the guy because of what happened last year, but he's just getting more and more impressive, and I'm really starting to believe that he really is good, and we're just not seeing it, or we just haven't seen it because we've been so focused on how he treated the team when Lewis was there. This whole entitled kid acting like he owns the team when his teammate's a seven-time world champion. Like that really put a bad taste in a person's mouth, right?
yeah,
But looking at him now, and you think, geez, but actually, hang on, this kid, he's really really good actually. Um, and then we move over to the other side of the garage, Kimmy. Kimmy, I've seen some ridiculous after his qualifying pole,
Mm,
ridiculous things like Kimmy is like Senna and Schumacher. I'm like, wait, what? Calm down. What are you talking about? Like, he is really like I don't think he's that impressive. Like, he should be doing what he's doing. He's in the second best car. He should be doing that. Like, no one's expecting him to beat Russell. He hasn't beaten Russell.
mm.
That's fine. But he's scoring points. He's doing well. He's putting the car in good places. That's what you do when you have the second best car. There's nothing impressive about it. When he starts winning races and when he starts beating George Russell consistently, then you can color me impressed. But until then, I'm really not that impressed. He can't hold the pole. He can't even hold the second row.
Mm.
He got super flustered. I don't know if you noticed,
Yeah,
but he got very flustered in that race. You could see that car was all over the place. I think he got very nervous in that race, in the main race. He was all over the place, and every single person behind him that passed him ate him for breakfast. It was like an easy overtake past him. So,
but now
so yeah, I think yeah.
the thing is that what's his ceiling?
Well, according to Toto and a lot of the world, he's got a very high ceiling, and that's fine. He is still a rookie. We got to remember that. I do think he will be good, but I mean, come on, guys, like just give the guy some chance to get into Formula One before we start comparing him to two of the greatest drivers we've ever had in the sport.
And listen, we didn't compare Piastri in his rookie year to
No,
those
we didn't.
drivers.
We did in his second year though, but that's fine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we knew
Yeah.
I compared him to Prost, and I will stand by that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but yeah. In any case, I think that's it, BT. I think we can move on to the next stage. I don't know if there's anything else you would like to bring up, any other teams or drivers you would like to talk
I
about.
mean, continuing with Russell, Russell has done a good job in taking the Banton from Lewis and running with it. I think
Mm,
last season we didn't think he will be able to do that, and be a leader, the leading driver in a certain team, especially Mercedes. And he's proven us wrong, and he's been
mm.
very consistent. And as I said last week, he's going into his peak, and he just needs a good car now. And I think he has a championship in him. That's all. I mean, we're not here to praise Russell, people. We're not going to praise Russell here, but we're just giving him his flowers. He's actually good. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I don't want to praise the guy, but there's gonna come to a point where if people keep listening to us, they might think that we're actually Russell fans, so we might have to start wearing Russell merch
Bro,
soon.
yeah,
In fact,
I'm
listen,
thinking of
I
that
will
as well.
buy. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy you and myself some George Russell merch, some caps or
I'd lo-
something.
I'd love that.
Yeah, and then I think like for every episode, we've got to wear a George Russell cap. That every
Hmm.
episode where George Russell is on the podium, we've got to wear a George Russell cap.
That's a good
Okay,
idea. Actually.
I think I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna get some George Russell caps, and for every
Yeah,
episode that George Russell is on the podium, we're gonna wear a George Russell cap. Not just for the podcast, but for like the whole week after, because BT and I both wear caps generally during the day, like when we're out and about or when we're at work or
yeah,
whatever. If every time George Russell is on the podium, we will wear a George Russell cap for the whole week, in
yeah.
public.
I would
Yeah,
love to
I
do
I
that.
reckon that's I
And
think that's a
and
solid.
and and for the guy that commented in our last episode who asked us when did we start watching Formula One, it's none of your business when we started watching Formula One. We wouldn't have a
I didn't see that.
podcast. Yeah, a guy just randomly asked us when did we start watching Formula One? When did you start watching Formula One? Because that's the only comment you made, doofus.
Yeah. Okay, calm down now. Hey, BT, sure. Relax.
Sorry, man. No,
Maybe
sorry.
maybe you just wanted to know. Like maybe there was no hostility at all. Maybe you just asked. I do apologize for
No,
my
that's
friend over here.
an
Um,
awkward question.
Yeah. No,
It's
listen.
like
Okay.
someone. It's like
On a serious
it's like
note.
someone. It's
Yeah.
like someone asking you, "Yo, when did you break your virginity?" None of your business. Again, none of your business. But that's
Now, why must you
another
bring
talk for
that?
another time.
Why? This is a family show, man. Why must you? This is a family friendly podcast. Why are you?
Sorry, sorry. Just yeah, I popped up. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just popped
You
up.
absolutely dirty. Anyways, listen, guys. Here's the thing, right? Myself and BT have been watching F1 for a long time. I've been watching F1 since I was a kid. And yeah, there was a stage where I did stop watching for a little bit. But then I started watching it again in 2014, and I've been invested ever since. But as a kid, big McLaren fan, Mr. Ferrari over here since he was a kid.
Hmm.
So listen,
Hmm.
uh, we don't care what you have to say about our thoughts on the sport. We know the sport as much as probably most of you do, and we mean no disrespect to anybody. But if you're going to disrespect us just because you don't agree with what we say, get off the platform, because like the reality is, we don't have to agree for us to be idiots. Like, we can disagree and still all be nice people and know what we're talking about. I can say that Oscar Piastri is going to be a multiple world champion, and you can say he isn't. Who's going to
Yeah,
be right? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out, isn't it? So ultimately, that's just what it is. So if you want to know how long we've been watching F1 for, most of our lives, if it matters, it doesn't. I can tell you that it doesn't matter. Even if I was watching for the last 2 years, I could have sat here and done every single day. I could have just done hours worth of research to try and know the sport better than anybody else. It doesn't actually matter
yes.
how long we've been watching F1. So I do hope that people could just stop being sour. And if they don't agree, just say, look, I don't agree. This is why I don't agree. And let's debate it, because
Yeah.
that's fun. We can have a conversation. We don't need to be rude or disagree. We could just disagree and then have a debate about it, and then just say, cool, I understand your point. Or just say, cool, I don't agree, but you know what? It's all good. We're allowed to. We can still be friends, man. I'm friends with a lot of ANC supporters, man. So
Out of pocket.
I'm just no.
Out of pocket. Out of pocket.
I'm just saying, I don't have to agree with you to be friends with you. All right.
Out of pocket.
BT. BT's an ANC supporter, by the way. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, guys, listen. Let's get back to the F1 now. Right, that was a bit of a serious, non-serious moment, but let's just get back to the Formula One. Let's get into some of the fun stuff. We've already gone over time here, but that's okay. You
Hmm.
guys deserve more time. The two of you that actually watch. Um, so one of you, again, one of you is probably Dirk. So one of
Yeah.
you that's watching. Um, what is the next thing? What do we usually do? Oh, we're going to talk about the moment of the weekend. So, um, the moment of the weekend, BT. What's your moment of the week? I've already got mine, and I'm going to tell you, but I'm
My
going to wait for you first.
bruh, mine is Lewis, bro. Pure comedy. I didn't think Lewis is funny. Lewis is actually a funny guy.
He's hilarious.
It's
That
funny, bro.
sarcasm was pure gold. He might have been Ryan. He might have been Ryan Reynolds in that car, because, like, talk about sarcastic comedy. That was golden.
Bro, yeah. And still
Yeah,
be driving a car that fast around a track and you're still able to say the things you were saying. Hilarious.
exactly, exactly.
Hilarious.
Now, I'm gonna say that was also mine, but I'm not gonna be boring, so I will go with something different. Um, I'm gonna go with the Max battle with the two McLarens. I think the
Mm,
battle with the two McLarens and Max, I think that showed, first of all, how good Max is, considering he doesn't have a car that's anywhere near what their car is. But it also showed how good Oscar is compared to Norris, because of what Oscar was able to do that Norris struggled to do. Um, and also, it was the best way to start the race. I mean, the race was action from the get go. So that actually set up the race to be super good, like from the get go already. So, I mean, here's to me wishing that Max gets pole every race, because that just means that every start of the race, the start of every race is just going to be absolutely
yeah.
chaotic,
Yes.
and I like that. So if Max, if you could just get pole every race, please, that would be ideal for this season. I'd really appreciate that. So that's my moment of the weekend. BT, do you want to give us your donkey of the weekend? No, donkey of the race. Just the main race, donkey of the race. I mean, I've got mine, but
Not, not Norris.
come on, the guy came second. Seriously, like he still came second.
Norris.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going. If you look at all the episodes, I've been saying Norris because I want him to finally win a race. This coming second and third is not. It's not gonna do anything. It's not.
Yeah, especially when he was in the opportunity to win it. Like he
Yes.
should have been the lead McLaren in that race. So
Yes.
I do get it. I do get it. I do get it. I think it's a bit harsh, but I do understand the point there. Um,
Why you look like you want to laugh, bro? You're donkey of the race.
I don't want to laugh. I want to cry because yeah, I've got to do another madness here and go Lawson
Lawson.
because
Mm-hmm.
he was
Mm.
so anonymous. Like, yeah, okay, fair enough. He got smacked by Behrman, somebody. He got rear-ended by somebody in the first
Oh
turn or
yeah,
second
yeah,
turn.
yeah. I think so. Yeah, something
Um,
like that.
and fair enough. That caused him a bit of damage, but the guy just can't catch a break. When he's got the opportunity to do well, he doesn't really. He falls back. He's starting to get good at the qualifying thing again. Like his qualifying is starting to come right slightly, but he's still losing out his places within the races, which is where the confidence is really needed. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just another bad weekend for him, and I can't keep saying I can't keep saying I hope he turns it around, but I genuinely really do. But he's also running out of time to turn it around because there's Awasa is waiting, and this Lindblad guy
Yes.
kid is waiting. Colapinto is there at Alpine. I'm sure Red Bull can snatch him up and say, "Hey, just come and drive for us." So
Hmm.
yeah, it's really a tough one for him, and yeah, I do hope he can turn it around, but it's he's running out of time now. But okay, let's move on to the stallion of the race because I mean, look, this one should be easy, but I'm gonna go a little bit sideways. But I'll let you go first. Who's your stallion of the week of the race? Sorry,
Which position did Tsunoda qualify in? Eighth.
something like that, or 10th? He finished 10th in the race. That I know. I
Yeah.
think he qualified. I think he qualified 8th, 9th, 10th around there, and then he finished 10th. So probably nothing really
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, he scored a point, but I can't say that that's too impressive. I mean, of course, the easy answer here is Oscar, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Albon. Like uh, maybe Williams deserves to be there. Maybe their car is good enough to be there, but I just we haven't seen it there for a while, and I just think Albon was like just in his element. He had issues with the car at the time. He had to nurse the car at times of that race, yet he still put it at fifth and did a damn good job. So I'm going with Albon.
Yeah. No. I mean, I thought I'd go with Tsunoda, but I'll go with Russell. I mean, I am going to wear his caps soon, so Russell also brilliant race.
Yeah, fair enough. And to be honest, yeah, that's also not a bad shot because yeah, I mean he also just pulled that. I mean, look, he was going to come fourth if it weren't for that stop. So it's not like he was doing badly and then there was some kind of miracle. But like still, the point is he wasn't on the podium and then he was on the podium. And like that's a big
Yeah.
difference regardless of it just being one position. It's still a big difference. So uh yeah, that's a good shot. Cool. So look guys, that's pretty much all that we have. So the last thing to do is to rate the race. So BT, before we say our goodbyes, rate the race for us, please. Give it a nice one.
I'm gonna pull a Dirk now. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? Is that what you
Nine out
said?
of ten. Yeah.
Oi. Oh, okay. I thought it was the best race of the season. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'll tell you why. All we needed was a bit of rain or a safety car in those last 20 laps, and I think it would have been a 10 out of 10 because it would have just given us a little bit more chaos for those last 10 to 20 laps. But other than that, I was pretty happy. It was an amazing race. I enjoyed it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I gave it a 9 because the pure comedy was coming from Ferrari. It kept me entertained.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It did. It was 100%
Yeah.
entertaining. I do agree with that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And please click that like and subscribe button if you like my face or BT's face or
Or
Dirk's
or
face.
or
Just,
or you want to have a cup of tea with Lewis,
or
you
you want
know?
to, or maybe you just want to sit and listen to us talk nonsense about Formula One. And hey, listen, guys, maybe you think we haven't watched F1 in a long time. That's okay.
Uh-huh.
But like you
Uh,
can still listen to us, we you can still listen to us waffle, and if you want to waffle with, then put something in the comments and let's have a chat there. Anyways, have a very good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is that you watch this, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.